Good evening, folks, and welcome to the stream. A very late night stream for Crusader Kings 2. A game I haven't played much in quite a while. I played it a lot for a long time. Still think it's a very great game, although I don't like where the game went with all the DLC. I haven't got all the latest DLC, such as the one publicized here, the Reaper's Due. I haven't got that one. Not sure. I think the last one I got was either Rajas of India or Charlemagne. Good thing is that Paradox adds updates to the game that are completely free, but accompanied by DLC, which give you the option to play as a character from another culture or religion. But if you don't buy the DLC, those cultures and religions are added in the game as opponents. So it only matters if you want to play like an Indian character or a Norwegian Viking. As long as you stay in the Christian Western world, it doesn't really matter that much that you don't own all the DLC. But still, they're quite a lot, and if you're a completionist like myself, you do like to own them all. Crusader Kings 2 is a game with middle-aged characters. It's a bit of a role-playing game combined with grand strategy, which Paradox is famous of. But let's dive into it and we shall see right away what it's all about. We're going to start a new game. I'm gonna pick a random character until I get a Christian character. The first Christian character I will play in Iron Man mode, so no save reload. And why Christian character? Because I'm most familiar with the gameplay elements of the Christian world. I don't want to end up in India or some pagan country where I'm not very familiar with all the elements of the religions and the cultures there, so that's why I'm gonna stick with a Christian character. So let's pick single player mode. We can choose an age. There is quite a lot to manage, Maisie, absolutely. We can choose to start in early Middle Ages. Those are added with DLCs, because the base game you can only pick as of 1066. The high to late Middle Ages and the Viking Age, the early Middle Ages, were added later with the Old Gods, and I'm not sure which DLC it was for early Middle Ages. But we can also choose a custom game setup, which gives it a lot more flexibility. So we can pick some bookmark dates here: the Viking Age, High Middle Ages. This is usually a good starting point. The base game started normally in 1066. William the Conqueror, some basic dates, some interesting characters. We can play as Duke William the Bastard. I believe this is before he becomes King of England. Yeah, Duke William the Bastard of Normandy. Kaiser Heinrich of the Holy Roman Empire. Duke Robert of Apulia. Or the Caliph, the Sultan of Egypt. But these are just some proposals. You can actually play any character in the game that has at least one title. We can change the map mode here to realms to see the independent nations in the world. So we have some large Muslim territories over here. We have India added with one of the DLCs. We have lots of stuff here. Norwegia. We have England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. Or well, it was not Wales at the time, it was Powys, so please excuse if my pronunciation is really bad. And Ireland is not formed yet. They're all individual states here. such as Braveny, Childara, Double In. I'm not sure if that's really historic. I guess it is. A lot of this is based on actual history. But of course, we're going to create an alternate history. We have France here, big country of France, the Holy Roman Empire, of course, the papacy, the Pope, who was independent. So let's pick a random character and see if he's Christian or not. And we get Count Herbert of Vermandois. Yep, we immediately get a French Catholic, the Count of Vermandois. So he's a vassal of the King Philip of France. King Philip, who is only 14 years old at this point, and we are a 34-year-old count. Right, let's go with this. Difficulty very hard. Why is that? We're only a count, of course, in a very large kingdom, the Kingdom of France. We have some vassals, but only limited, and we are a small dynasty, which is quite a big penalty in this game, because you don't play a particular character, you actually play a whole dynasty of characters. When your character dies, you continue with their son or whatever family member takes over the title. However, if the title or the last title passes on to someone outside the dynasty, then it's game over. So having a small dynasty is quite a significant handicap in this game. Right, let's just start. We have some of the DLCs active. I haven't activated Sunset Invasion because that means at some point the Aztecs will invade with large armies, and that's just a bit of a game breaker. It's also not very historic. So let's just go ahead with Count Herbert of Vermandois. The Mongol invasion. Yeah, let's just take the historical Mongol invasion. Also Turkey conquers. Let's allow. This is all new. This wasn't in the game the last time I played. Shattered retreat. Yeah, let's just go with the default settings here. Supernatural events on. And we're gonna create a new Iron Man game with the Count of Vermandois. Now at the start of the game we'll have to do a lot of things, check our status before we actually start to let the timer run. So we play as a succession of medieval rulers from a single dynasty. There's no set goal, but the world is filled with ambitious rivals. Secure more land to increase your power and protect your family. You cannot hold infinite amounts of land yourself. To expand, you will need to rely on vassal rulers. Yeah, so this is Middle Age. You can't just control the whole world directly. You need vassals to do things for you. Keep them happy with titles and gifts, lest they decide to revolt. The game will end in 1452 if your line can stay in power that long. I don't think I ever reached 1452. As a ruler, your first priority is to secure a heir. If you do not have a legitimate heir, when your character dies, the game will end. Other pressing matters appear as alerts. Yeah, we all know that. It's a pausable real-time game, which means the game's paused at the moment. We can unpause and we can speed up or slow down the passing of time. And it's played on a 3D map where we can zoom in and out and pan, etc, etc. Right, we are playing a French Catholic count, so we are a feudal government ruler. This resolves around an oath between the liege and the vassal. Feudal lords can only directly own a certain number of holdings before they must start to rely on vassals, whose loyalty may vary. There are different succession laws, each with their own merits and flaws. Centralization law exists as well, controlling the maximum size of your demesne and the number of direct vassals you can have. And if you should convert to religion in the Muslim group, your government form will change to Iqta, good to know. So we can hold castle, fort and hospital holdings without penalties. We can hold tribal holdings. We can build castles, cities, temples and forts. We can revoke titles from tribal government vassals of another religion, only of another religion, without objections from other vassals. And tribal government vassals are not included in the vassal limit. That's good. And then that's our government type. The culture, no specific effects. And our religion is Catholicism, one of the oldest branches of Christianity, the one that had the biggest impact on the history of Europe. Formal head is the Bishop of Rome, also known as the Pope. The Catholic bishops may pay taxes to the Pope rather than to you, your secular liege, depending who they like most. Catholic rulers can set up an anti-pope, something which I have done in the past. The Pope can excommunicate Catholic characters, can grant divorces, can also grant invasion casus belli. Casus belli, we'll see that in a moment, but the thing is that in medieval Europe you couldn't just attack your neighbor without a valid reason. And the reasons to go to war are called casus belli. Casus belli means that you either have a claim or by law or from God himself, you need to have a valid reason to attack someone to capture their land. Yes, an anti-pope. Historically there has been an anti-pope. I believe it was in France, but was it Versailles? At one point in time there were two popes, because the feudal rulers, they didn't always like that the Pope had so much power, and so an important ruler may actually decide to elect their own Pope as a counter to the real Pope, which actually splits up the religious part between two popes, and that's the Catholic schism. This happened historically, that there was one pope in Rome and another pope in somewhere in France. I can't recall exactly. I don't think it was Versailles. It was the Pope of... Damn, I'm bad at history. Of course, this has some downsides as well, because it lowers the authority of the Catholic religion, the fact that you have two different leaders, which has some negative consequences as well. We'll see that there's a lot of detail and I can't explain everything at once, but the anti-pope mechanism is a cool one and has an historical precedent. So the Pope can also grant claims on titles, can call for a crusade, which will certainly happen, can order someone unlanded to take the vows, and there is always a Pope whether or not he has land. Cool. Right, we don't have that many pop-ups. Sometimes this is a long list of things to consider. But what is the game warning us about? At the moment we haven't selected an ambition and we haven't selected a character focus. That's normal at the start of the game. And we have minor titles that we can grant, notably the designated region of Vermandois. Now for this we will have to look at the succession law. So here we have the most important menus. Let's just start with our own character to begin with. This is Count Herbert of Vermandois, 34. His wife is Countess Alix Adèle of Vermandois. She's also the spy master. My wife is my spy master. Cool. She's 26 and I'm 34, so she's 8 years younger than me. She's still at a childbearing age. That's good. Her opinion of me is +5. Now, opinion can go from -100 to +100. So green opinion 5 mean she likes me, but only to a very, very small amount. It's almost neutral. And my opinion of her is -1, so I don't like her. But only very, very small. It's almost neutral as well. Right, so this is my wife. This is my hair, Judas Carling, which is my son. Yep, this is my son. He's 6 years old. His opinion of me 13, my opinion of him 61. And apparently I also have a daughter, Adele Carling. So we are of the Carling dynasty. Carling dynasty means we are part of a huge dynasty and a very important dynasty at this time of the and we can see that King Philip is of the Capet, the house Capet. This is all very historic, and we even have here a Wikipedia link to go immediately to the page of King Philip of France, and we might have the same for our own. Yes, we can even open a Wikipedia link for the historical Count Herbert of Vermandois. Siblings. He also has a brother, Judas Carling, and Pierre Carling, 2 brothers. One being the Chancellor of Vermandois, and the other the Court Chaplain of Vermandois, and apparently heir to the Bishopric of Laon. Let's just take the Holy Roman Empire is Salian. Now we can switch between different views if we look at the dynasties. Okay. Capet dynasty, Salian. Oh yeah, but this is just the main ruler, so it's not telling everything. Right, not very useful. So we are in France. Let's just check as well our county. The county of Vermandois. Here is our county. So we are at the border of France with the Holy Roman Empire. This is our county. We only have one county. We are count. And one of the things we can also do, dynasty, yeah. Can look at the dynasty tree here. The house Carling. Is that all? What the? I thought the house Carling was a big dynasty. Maybe it's at a later date only. I'm quite surprised there isn't any more. Ah, we have another part over here. Albert, Robert, Guy. Pepin. Well, this is quite a... Oh, here we are. Bernard Carling, Pepin Carling. These guys were kings, as you can see from their icon. Emperor Karl the Great, of course. Here we are. I believe this is Charlemagne. He should have a brother Carloman if I'm right. Yep, this is Charlemagne. So we are actually... We are a descendant of Charlemagne. My mouse is kinda not working well. Where was I? Okay, I lost track of where I was. Not Pepin. Right, I lost track. The head of the dynasty. Oh, this one's me. Count Herbert of Vermandois. So we are actually the son, grandson, great-grandson, great-great-grandson, great-great-great-grandson, great-great-great-great-grandson. Well, you get the picture. So we are a descendant of Charlemagne, Emperor Karl, no, not King Pepin of Italy. But at the moment, the Karling dynasty is no longer controlling most of Europe over here, but France is ruled by the Capet dynasty and the Holy Roman Empire is ruled by the Salian dynasty. In England, meanwhile, we have of Godwin, and in Scotland we have the Dunkeld dynasty. Right, so this is our character. Let's look at our character a bit more in detail. We are a dutiful cleric. He is learned and possessed of beautiful penmanship, but lacks any particular interest in theology, giving us -1 intrigue and +3 learning. We are lustful. Lust or luxuria, the first deadly sin, enflames this character. Their carnal desires are not appreciated by the church and might also cause problems out of the marital bed. So our monthly piety gain is decreased by 0.25. We do get 1 extra intrigue, we have +20% fertility, and the Christian church opinion goes down by 5. So any rulers of the Catholic Church will have a negative opinion modifier because we are lustful, and the church doesn't like that. We are also proud. Pride, superbia, is the 7th deadly sin according to the church. However, proud characters tend to be ambitious and work hard to increase their prestige. So we get 0.5 prestige. Now, prestige and piety are the two main scores that you can get in the game. Prestige, which you do by doing deeds that mostly impress other lords, whereas piety is any acts that have a positive impact on the church by doing something that the church approves. So we have currently 20 prestige and 10 piety, and actually the sum of those two for all your rulers is your final score. But that's very arbitrary, of course. It's just a score. You don't win anything. This is a good one. We are also temperate. Temperate, this character believes in the virtue of temperantia, moderation, a valuable trait in rulers and stewards, giving us +2 stewardship, +5 church opinion, +5 for anyone with the same trait, so other temperate characters, but -5 for opposite traits. And the opposite trait of temperate, good question. Probably, not greedy. What's it called? That you like to eat a lot and... oh damn, I really can't. It is... no, not slothful. This is my wife, by the way. Well, I can't find the word, but... temperate, the opposite of temperate, of course. Glutinous, that's the word. Glutinous characters, that's the opposite of temperate. And we are also cynical. The character is a cynical unbeliever, disliked by the clergy, but good at intrigue. Our monthly piety goes down by another 0.2, intrigue +2, church opinion -5. Yes, gluttony, Maisie, exactly. I just noticed your message now, but I already said it. Same thread opinion +5 and opposite thread opinion -5. So the church is not gonna like us that much. We are lustful, we are proud, we are cynical. There's a lot of things that the church doesn't like. On the other hand, we do have enough intrigue and stewardship. These are our main stats. 5 stats in the game. We have diplomacy, affects how other characters think of you. People with high diplomacy are generally liked more by other people. Then we have martial. I think that speaks for itself, which is of course important as for generals, for leaders of armies. This will also impact how many troops you can raise. And we have stewardship, a very important one, in my opinion the most important one as a ruler. Determines your tax income, but also how many different holdings you can control directly without vassals. Intrigue, of course, both defensively and offensively. Defensively in preventing people from plotting you, potentially even murdering you. Offensively, of course, as well to use vicious deeds on your opponents. And finally, learning, which improves also mostly the technological innovation, how quickly new discoveries spread. So learning, that's the 5th one. And so these different character traits we have, they have an impact on our 5 attributes. We are French culture, Carling dynasty. Our demand size is 1 out of 3, so due to the ruler stewardship bonus, because we have a stewardship of 9, we can actually control 3 different holdings. The base is 1, because we are count we get an extra 1, that's 2, and because we have high stewardship makes 3. But we only have 1, and that is the county of Vermandois. We have one, how's it called? One barony, yeah. There's one castle, the castle of Reitel. This is where we live. We control this castle in Vermandois. But as you can see in Vermandois, there's also a bishopric and a city, the city of Saint Quentin. But these are controlled by vassals. We don't own them directly. We don't live there. We have no control. But the Lord ruling there has sworn loyalty to us because we are the count. Now there are 3 types. You have the feudal ones like fortress. You have the bishoprics, which are controlled by bishops, not by counts or barons. And then you have cities ruled by mayors. So we only have 1 castle and we can control 3 holdings theoretically. We have no vassal limit. We have 645 levies. So this is the size of our army. 578 from our own castle and 67 from our vassals. The more the vassals like us, the more armies they will supply. So they will provide a portion of their own levy to help defend the higher realm. So this is what the bishop and or mayor are giving us. We have 44 gold pieces and our monthly balance will increase by almost 2 gold pieces every month. That's our income. We have 20 prestige and 10 piety, and both are going up, but as you can see with all the negative modifiers, piety will slowly go up, whereas prestige will rise very quickly. We get almost 1 prestige every month. So that's our character, relations, marriage ties. The Duchess of Champagne. That's my sister-in-law. And my brother-in-law is the Count of Vexin. We have two vassals, the mayor of Saint-Quentin and the bishop of Laon. Bishop of Laon, opinion of us is 36, opinion of the Pope is only 28. So this is showing red, but normally it will change in a moment and he will be paying taxes to us instead of the Pope because he likes us more. That's quite a surprise. Whereas the mayor likes us a lot, 42, and he's paying us 7.1 gold taxes because he likes us. If he would start to hate us, he would stop paying taxes. Now another interesting view here is the realm tree, which actually shows the whole hierarchy in the Kingdom of France. So we have the King Philip, which is ultimately our liege. This is the guy at the top of the pyramid. And you can see their relative power. So King Philip has 100% strength because we are comparing with the top liege. So he has an army of 4,111 soldiers. Now if we look at the Duke of Champagne, the Duke Thibaut of Champagne has 3,680 soldiers, so he's at 90% of the power of King Philip. So he's a very dangerous contender to the throne here for young Philip, 14 years old. So this 54-year-old Duke has a lot of power compared to King Philip, his liege. Also this one, Duke William the Bastard. Obviously, this is William the Conqueror, 84% strength of King Philip. I'm not sure what this dynasty is. Yeah, I can't click it. I can't click it because I'm inside the screen. Then we have Baudouin of Flanders. This is my area where I live in reality, 78%. So you can see there are some very powerful dukes. And somewhere around here, yeah, this is us, Count Herbert of Vermandois. We have 15% of the strength of our liege, King Philip. So we are not a very powerful player inside the Kingdom of France. Pretty logical because we are only a small count here. But we are by no means the smallest. You can see here Count Etienne of Bourges, Prince Bishop of Reims. These guys are even less powerful than me. But compared to these dukes, I'm really of no importance when it comes to army size. What you can see here is also the opinions. So this is the opinion of us. And this is the opinion they have of King Philip. So this guy likes us, he doesn't like King Philip. Same with this one. Here it's the other way around. Duke Baudouin of Flanders, he doesn't like us, but he does like his liege, King Philip. And for most of them, yeah, these two it's about the same. Neutral towards us, but positive towards King Philip. But for most concern for King Philip is that these two most powerful dukes, William the Conqueror and Thibaut of Champagne, they don't like him. So that's bad news for him. But of course a lot has to do with the fact that he's only a very young kid. So he hasn't ruled for long, they don't have much confidence in him. If you look at opinion about me, for instance, not sure if I have an example. Opinion of Herbert. Can't we click this? Not really. This is my opinion of King Philip. So state diplomacy 5. So due to the state diplomacy of the Kingdom of France, he gets +5. Because there is free investiture, we also like him more. Also because he has autonomous vassals. Technology will give him +9, and because his liege is kind, King Philip is kind, yeah. He's a kind person, so that gives us another +5 opinion modifier of King Philip. So this is all numbers, but it makes sense, of course, because this is a nice guy, we like him more. Erudite. Scholarly and bookish disposition. Okay, the church will like him though. He has 12 diplomacy, that's pretty good. But you can see King Philip actually only controls 2 holdings. He has the Kingdom of France, but the only holdings he controls is the County of Paris and the County of Orleans. So if we go to Paris, this castle here, Melun, is controlled by King Philip directly. And this one here, Orleans, is also controlled by King Philip. Everything else, all the other holdings in France, are only under his indirect control through his vassals. So they're all vassals controlling all the other holdings, and they will only pay taxes and provide only a portion of their levy to the king. Of course, due to the sheer number of vassals, all these small bits together will add up pretty quickly. That does give him lots of indirect power, but only for as long as his vassals like him. And that's where the weakness comes of the feudal system. If the king is not popular, then he can find his power deteriorating very quickly. And especially when a long-standing ruler dies and his young son takes over, there can often be a succession crisis because the powerful dukes in the kingdom have no confidence in the young kid who takes over, compared to the old king before who had already proven his word. Right, we still haven't unpaused the game, we're still looking at all this stuff. Now we have to pick a character focus and an ambition. But first, one thing I haven't done yet is look at the law. Oh, there's a lot of new stuff already, I can see that. A hereditary despotic county. Okay, so the gender laws are agnatic, which means that only males can inherit. Oh no, we have agnatic cognatic, sorry. Agnatic cognatic means that women can inherit, but only if there are no eligible males. So males will always be the first choice to inherit, but if, say, a ruler only has one daughter, then that daughter will become queen or countess or whatever the title is. But as soon as there's one son, even if he's younger, the son will be the primary heir. And gavelkind means that the ruler's titles are divided among his children. The oldest gets the primary title. However, if the ruler has no children, then the law will default to primogeniture, meaning the oldest inherits everything. So if he only has one son, obviously that son will inherit all his titles. This gives us no prestige penalty for having unlanded sons. We have that in, for instance, primogeniture. And we can have a larger demand, but the issue here is that when you have multiple titles, upon your death, the titles will be split among your heirs, and so your heir will start with less titles again. So it's harder to keep titles together for one character and gain a lot of power. Especially since if you have multiple sons and they inherit individual titles, they may start to fight each other after you're dead and try to recover the lost titles. So Gavelkind is very popular with everyone except of course the oldest child. So this is our succession law, and we can actually change some of these, but we will need support from our vassals to actually change the laws. And changing succession laws is also something that you can do only once in a lifetime, I believe. And you need a certain time that you have ruled. Now the thing is here that Count Herbert of Vermandois is already ruling for some time, so he can change it. If a new young ruler would take over, he wouldn't have this option. And here we can see our potential heirs. So the first choice at the moment is our oldest son, Eudes Carling. So if I die now, then Eudes would inherit my county, because I only have one title. But then if Eudes would die before me, then Adele Carling would be the second in the line of succession. And then my brother, also called Eudes. Then Arnoux de Chiny, I have no idea who this guy is. And Adelaide Carling, which is also one of my kinswomen. The realm laws. Okay. And these are the obligations. So these are also things that can change. How much taxation, how much levies your vassal should give you. For feudal vassals, for city vassals, church vassals, and any tribal vassals, if applicable. So I'm not going to touch any of these for the moment. The thing we have to do now is appoint a council, pick an ambition, and choose a character focus. So what do we want to do? Well, we are only a small count, we only have one county, so we probably want to find a way to expand and become more powerful. The only thing is, how are we going to do that? We can either go to war inside the Kingdom of France, which is probably not going to work very well. We're also not very powerful. The second option is to go through intrigue, but we are not that strong in intrigue either. So it's quite a bit tricky, I think. But we are also a small dynasty, so it may be a better idea to actually just focus on growing our dynasty first, to have more suitable heirs, which will make us stronger in the future when we do get more titles. So character focus, we can choose business, rulership, intrigue, seduction, hunting, war, carousing, family, theology, or scholarship. I think I'm gonna go with family for now, which will give us more diplomacy, more fertility, and more health. So we need to be an adult to be able to choose this focus. We cannot be incapable, and we cannot be a prisoner. That makes sense. So I'm gonna pick family. Count Herbert concentrates on family life, ensuring better relations between all family members. We will not be able to change focus again for the next 5 years. Yep, that's fine. And then we should pick an ambition. Where is that at? The ambition. We want to become Chancellor. This means we could become Chancellor in the Kingdom of France. And if we do get this, then we gain 1 diplomacy, and our opinion of King Philip will change by 10. Now the chances that King Philip will appoint us Chancellor when we only have 4 diplomacy are very, very slim, of course. We'll also try to become Marshal Steward, which might make a bit more sense with 9 stewardship. Spy Master. Yeah, the only thing here that might potentially work is steward. 9 stewardship isn't that bad, but in the big Kingdom of France, the chance that the king will choose us as steward is very small. Then we could pick the ambition to gain wealth, 500 gold pieces. That's quite a lot for such a lowly count as us to get to 500 gold pieces. This is gonna take us a long time. We could try to become paragon of virtue. Piety of 500, this is something we'll never achieve in our lifetime for sure. Exalted among men, a prestige of 1000. Now this would be more realistic. We have 20 prestige and we gain about 1 prestige a month, so that's 12 per year. So to get to 1000 prestige, that should take us how many years? 12 per year. Yeah, okay, we'll not get exalted among men either. And finally, we can have the ambition to become the King of France, and if we succeed, we would get 500 prestige. King of France. I think the chance that we will actually make it to King of France is also very slim. So yeah, what do we pick as an ambition? I'm not sure which one of these is actually realistic, and I'm thinking becoming steward is actually the most reasonable of them all. There's no point in picking an ambition that you can't possibly reach. I could go for gold, 500 gold, maybe prestige, or become steward. I'm gonna pick become steward. I want to become steward. Thank you very much. This is now my ambition. So I have a family focus and my ambition is to become steward. Which makes sense because I'm a proud person. I want to really be have an important role within the kingdom. I don't just want to be Count Herbert. I want to be the steward of the King of France. And I'm temperate, which makes for good stewards. Right, now I have the lustful trait, so fertility plus 20. And since I have family focus, that increases my fertility by 25%. So this should make it more likely that my wife would become pregnant. She's 26. Let's look at her character traits. She's an amateurish plotter. She's also cynical, just like me, which gives us both a +5 bonus, because we have the same cynical trait. She's slothful. She's shockingly lazy. The 4 deadly sin, an altogether negative trait. No positive impact of being slothful. She's also stubborn as a mule, and she's greedy. Yeah, so a very bad set of character traits here. If we look at her stats, she does have decent intrigue, and a bit of learning as well. All the rest is really bad. De Vexin Amiens, that's her dynasty. What a bad wife. Count Alix Adèle of Vermandois. Right, let's look at our council then, shall we? So we had 5 character traits. If you remember, we had diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. And these are tied to the 5 different council members that we have. The Chancellor, which is our advisor in terms of diplomacy. The Marshal, our military advisor. The Steward, to collect taxes. The Spy Master, to prevent any attempts at intrigue and trying to get us killed. And finally our Court Chaplain, who is the advisor in the matters of fate. So the skill directly impacts how good they are at their council position. So we have a chancellor with a skill of 10. Let's just take a look at the alternatives, and you can see in our court the only alternatives have a diplomacy skill of 5 and 3. Our marshal, yeah. So as a small count we don't have much choice. We only have a very small court. We could potentially get Jacques the Bishop of Laon as a spy master, 8 instead of 10, so that would go down, but it would improve his opinion of us, because this is our vassal, the Bishop of Laon, while I'm less concerned about my wife's opinion. And we have the court chaplain, yeah, also no alternatives here. And we can give them something to do. We can send our chancellor somewhere to improve diplomatic relations. We could have him fabricate a claim, which can then be used as a casus belli, a reason to go to war. Or we could sow dissent elsewhere to try to decrease relations between vassal and their liege. I'm going to... let's just send him to Paris and improve relations with the King of France. Our marshal, suppress revolts, train troops or research military tech. We don't need troops, we only have a very small army anyway. I'm gonna let him research military tech in Vermandois to speed up the military research. Our steward, collect taxes, oversee construction in one of our holdings, or research economy tech. I think the better thing here is to collect taxes. I really would like more money. And what are my skills? Proud. I'm not greedy, I'm temperate. Trying to roleplay it a bit. Moderation. Well, let's just have him research economy tech then in Vermandois. Our spy master can scheme. Scheming is good to prevent any plots from local nobles. Build a spy network or study technology. I'm gonna have him scheme here, just to make sure nobody is actually plotting against us. In Vermandois. And our court chaplain, he can proselytize, converting heretics and infidels in a province, research cultural tech, or improve religious relations. Oh, we haven't checked that yet. Ooh, the Pope doesn't like us. This is Pope Alexander II. And he clearly doesn't like us. -11. Moral authority of the Catholic faith, 75%. That's pretty high. And the Catholic faith controls all of their holy sites except for the holy site of Jerusalem, which could be a very good reason for the Pope to call a crusade, because each religion wants to control their own holy sites. Right, we can change the successor here for Bishop Jacques, and this is because we have free investiture, and that's one of the reasons why the Pope doesn't like us, I assume. No, it doesn't mention anything. Alright, we also have the College of Cardinals. One of these guys is going to become the next Pope. And the current preferatus is Cardinal Sergio of Reggio. Nel Emilia in Italy. This is an Italian bishop in the Holy Roman Empire who is potentially the next pope. Designated regent. So in case we are incapable of ruling, we can select who will rule in our place. For instance, if we become incapable, assume we take a blow to the head in battle and we are still alive but we're incapable, then our regent will rule in our place. They won't take our title, but they will rule in our place. So this is would definitely give an opinion bonus. The thing is that our mayor here has a diplomacy of 0. This would make a bad regent. And our Bishop Jacques here with 3 diplomacy would also make a bad regent. Ooh, this woman's great. This is our kinswoman. I was almost going to say let us just kill our wife and marry this one. Adelaide Carlin, but she's of our own blood, so there would be an historical precedent, but making children with our own family woman, this has some risks. This could get us an inbred child. She's got such good stats. Look, 17 diplomacy. Wow. Patient, charitable, diligent. Wow. I already like this woman, Adelaide. Who is she in fact? Adelaide. Duchess Adelaide of Champagne. Oh, she's married to the... This is the powerful Duke of Champagne. So he's married to someone of our dynasty? Oh no. I see what's going on here. No. Marriage ties? How do we have marriage ties? She's the daughter of Count Raoul of Vexin. Oh, my wife. She's a family member of my wife, and she's married to the powerful Duke of Champagne. Why didn't I marry this one? Hey Duke, do you want to swap? You can have Countess Alix Adele if I can have your Adelaide. Sounds like a deal, no? Yeah, this guy's a lot more powerful. He's got several sons as well. Oh well. Shall we finally unpause the game, Maisie? Are you still watching, as a matter of fact? Or have you gotten so bored that you are doing something else? You are probably the only person watching this at the moment. At this late hour. Well, Twitch has 4 viewers, although Twitch is not always giving that correctly. Well, anyway, oh, come on. Ah, okay. Stop it. Anything else we need to do? I don't want to designate a regent at the moment, because I don't think you can easily change it. Intrigue. Yeah, we can also choose a plot. Kill Matilde of Normandy. This is my wife, I think. No? Oh no, this is not my wife. Why would I want to kill her? This is the wife of William the Conqueror? Why would I want to kill her? Do I have any reason to kill this woman? Must be, but... House van Vlaanderen. Oh, she's the daughter of Boudewijn van Vlaanderen? Yeah, but he has two sons, so... She's not gonna inherit his title. So why would I want to kill this woman? I have no idea. But some reason I have a plot to do this. Kill Oda. She's in my court, I think. Judith de Melgueil. Robert. Who are these people? I have no idea why I can kill them. Renaud de Bourgogne. Benoit. Sibla de Barcelona. Here. I can kill my wife. And for some reason that sounds funny because I picked the family focus and then in meanwhile I'm plotting plotting to kill my wife. I'm cynical, but I'm not deceitful or anything or evil. So plotting to kill my wife here, it doesn't make sense. So I'm not gonna do that. I did that before, but no, doesn't make sense. Invite a noble, present a debutante. Borrow gold from the Jewish merchants. Buy indulgence for my sins. Yeah, then the Pope will ask me a lot of money and I will get a little bit of piety. Nah, we'll just not do anything at the moment and just unpause the game. And time will run. 1 day, 2 days, a bit faster. Oh! King Philip of France has declared the French holy war for Mallorca on Emir Ali of the Aramid Emirate. Where is this thing? Come on. The Aramid. Mallorca. This has to be somewhere around here. Oh yeah, when they're on holiday I should know. Mallorca, here. This is Mallorca. This is Amirit. Oh, it's a small, yeah. So this guy has two counties here, and then Mallorca, Menorca, and Ibiza, I think. But how was it called back in the day? Mayorga? Manurka? Well, apparently not separate. Not sure. Yeah, this is considered one county. Alcudia, I believe that they really exist in Mallorca. Right. So our King of France has actually declared a holy war. That's one of the casus belli. It's just these guys are infidels. They're Muslims, so that's reason enough to fight them. But the downside of that is that the emir here of the Amarit Sultanate may actually call in allies, other Muslim rulers, to help defend himself. So he may say, hey guys, you there in the Zogbadid and the Fatimid, all these sheikhs here may actually jump in to help this emir defend Mallorca. In that case, the King of France may have some trouble. Of course, these sheikhs here in the east, they are no way gonna send all their armies all the way down here to defend an island. But theoretically, it's possible. And Duke William the Bastard has founded the Elective Succession in France faction. So in France, we now have a faction. This faction can actually request their liege to follow their demands. So the members of this faction, they seek to institute elective monarchy. So instead of a dynastic heir, the succession law in France would change to monarchy by election. So when sufficiently supported, then Duke William may actually present an ultimatum to the King Philip of France. In that case, King Philip has two possible answers. He can say, okay, I give in to your demands, and then the succession law will actually be changed to elective monarchy. Or he can say, no way, you're not going to threaten me, and then a civil war will break out between the faction and the king with the remaining vassals who didn't go with that faction. And important there, of course, is the relative strength of the faction compared to the strength of the liege. So, as of course William the Bastard is a very strong vassal here, he has 80% strength compared to his liege, the King of France. So if he gets some supporters, and we may actually join this faction, so I could say, okay, I'm gonna join Duke William here in this faction. But of course, if William presents the ultimatum, I cannot simply back out again. I will be part of the rebellion against the King of France if the king rejects the ultimatum. So it's an important choice here. Do we go with the king, or do we join this faction and go with Duke William the Bastard? If we join the faction, this will obviously lower the opinion of the king. I already sent my chancellor to improve relations with the king, and I'm not sure if I want to support the Duke of Normandy, because he's already very strong. So yeah, there's our first big choice already. My opinion of Philip 34. Where is William the Bastard? My opinion of William is only 12. So I do like the king more than I like William the Conqueror. So it doesn't make sense to follow him in his faction. He likes me, opinion of me 10. If we look at the king, opinion of me only 4. So he does like me more than the king likes me. But I'm hoping my chancellor will change this here by improving relations. Let's unpause the game again, and we'll see how the king will raise armies. So let's pause again, including an army from Vermandois. So the king just raised a part of his army from our county. Because we are a vassal, we are supplying him some of our troops to fight his war there in Mallorca. Right, let's continue. So troops are raised from the vassal, and he has to centralize them. So they are spread around France at the moment. And here we see another army. Oh, this is the army of Normandy. So here we see the Duke of Normandy. He's attacking King Harold II of England in the Norman conquest. So this is of course historic. So William the Conqueror is actually conquering England, while at the same time he's also part of the French Holy War for Majorca, because he's still a vassal of the King of France. And he's hostile towards King Harold of Norway, because both of them are having conflicting wars for the throne of England. If we go for Norway, the king here, King Harold, he is also attacking the King of England in the Norwegian invasion of England. So both Norge and William the Conqueror, this French duke, are both attacking England. This is historic, of course. And now the King of France has declared war on the Muslims here for Majorca. Let's just speed up time a little. There isn't that much we can do at the moment. I'm just hoping my wife may get pregnant and give me more kids. So here we see the difference: high priority messages, low priority messages. Duke Robert the Old of Burgundy has founded the Duke Robert for France faction. So he wants to have himself on the throne of France. But he's the only one supporting himself. He is the spy master though, so he has quite some potential intrigue there. But he's a lot less powerful than... Wow, look at this. 300... Duke William currently has an army of almost 14,000 men. That's 3 times as much as the King of France can raise. So if he presents an ultimatum to the King of France, then he may actually go to war to the king if the king refuses. And then he would be his own independent Normandy, sorry. I have not played Massive Chalice, no. And I am not even sure I know what the game's about, Maisie. So yeah, this is a very slow game, but you can speed it up quite a bit, of course. We're now in 1067. Since we are just a lowish count, we don't have that much to do. If you play as an emperor, then you get hundreds of notifications every month. And then you can get overwhelmed by everything that's going on. Oh, the Duke of Flanders has also joined the elective succession in France. Wow. This faction is now very strong. They're almost 4 times as powerful as the King of France. Elective succession. The thing is, would people like us? Are we popular? Not that much. So the chances are that elective succession will not really benefit us. Oh, really? That sounds interesting, Maisie. We'll definitely check that out. Of course, the inheritance here is not the only thing. You can actually marry someone for the inheritance and all that. The laws, of course, they are important. But there's also intrigue, there's some military. It's the whole combination. Breed the best warriors. Oh yeah, like that. Well, it does work like that a bit as well here. She doesn't have great stats, so the chances are that her DNA is not that great. On the other hand, if you look at her sister, She does have quite some good stats. Now, we could do a search here, for instance. Just to show you some of the better options. Oh yeah, here. I went too fast. Yeah, I went too fast. Damn it. I saw one and I scrolled too fast and I have to... Oh yeah. For instance, this one. Pierre Arnaud, the Chancellor of Armagnac, he has the strong trait. So this character is blessed with a powerful physique. This means, especially if you have different people with the strong trait in the same family, that means they have very good genes and that any children are more likely to also have the strong. And you can see this increases martial, diplomacy, fertility, health. So this is a very good character trait, being strong. There are some other really good ones. Quick, very good one. This character is brighter than most, so it's very intelligent. There's an even better version of Quick, and it's also attractive. I'm looking for the genius trait, but I can't find anyone with the genius trait here. Here we have one. So this one, the mayor of Paris, this person is a genius. So look at these modifiers, and as you can see, his abilities are really great, because genius improves all of them by 5. So there is some breeding if you can find a good wife with a good genes and create some offspring. If they have good character traits, they are more likely to have a positive opinion from vassals, and having vassals who likes you makes you more powerful. This is the problem with the King of France at the moment. He may not be a bad person, but he's young, he doesn't have great traits, so his vassals, they don't necessarily like him that much. Already the Duke now, oh, his opinion has changed quite a lot. Why is that? Commander. Yeah, so the King of France has been playing some tricks. One of them, he made William the Conqueror Commander of France. So because he has a title, Commander of France, that improves his opinion of the king. So you can actually give gifts, you can hand out titles to improve relations. So these relations are a very important factor in the game, because ultimately they determine how many levies you can raise from your vassals and also how much taxes they pay you. If they all like you, then you are in a very strong position. If they hate you, then you're in trouble. And you can counter that by having a very powerful personal domain. Your domain is the holdings that you control yourself. But in the feudal system, your domain is always limited to a certain number that can increase through technology and if you have high stewardship and things like that. But okay, our first event. I've been spending more time with my wife, Alex Adele, lately, and though of course we didn't marry for love, I can tell it is growing between us. Aha, marital bliss. Well, her opinion of me has changed by 15 for 2 years, and my love for her has also increased by 15. We kind of fell in love a bit. Yeah, marital bliss. So if we look now at my wife, Her opinion of me is now 23, and my opinion of her, which was slightly negative, is now 14. So that's already better. It's not much, but still. And this is thanks to, of course, the fact that we have chosen a family focus. Philippe Capet has transferred a vassal contract. Oh, so he transferred a vassal, probably a count, to one of his dukes to improve his opinion. And Gervais as well. Wow. And the Duke of Champagne has joined the elective succession in France faction. Wow. These guys are getting very strong. If they present an ultimatum, he has no choice but to accept, or he will lose the war for sure. On the other hand, of course, the army of William the Conqueror is already fighting in England, of course. If he would be fighting two wars at the same time, that would make him more vulnerable in both wars. Because he cannot use his army at both locations at the same time. So if I were William the Conqueror, I would not go to war with the King of France at the moment. There's a battle going on around here. 12,000 troops of William the Conqueror versus, 10,000 of Earl Sigier in England. I'm starting to think Adelaide Carling may fancy me. Oh, this is the woman from my own family. I think I mixed up two people earlier because I thought this was my wife's sister. This is only a far relative. Her father is a kinsman, but let's just check. Family tree. Renault. Guy. This is my great-grandfather. So we have the same great-grandfather? My grandfather and her grandfather were brothers. Make a move. I will go to Adelaide's chamber. Don't ask me what they're gonna do there. Or she's not my type. And then I will lose some prestige. So, opinion of me 27 and my opinion of her 25. I shall make a move and go to her chamber. Let's just hope my wife doesn't find out. I went to Adelaide's chamber and gave her a good tumble. It's good to be the count. I am lustful after all. I think she fancies me, so I am going to her chamber, of course. My liege, my mission to Paris has so far been a success. During my visit to the court of King Philip of France, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are, and he sends his regards, your humble Chancellor Eudes. Perfect! King Philip's opinion of Count Herbert has changed by +20 for 4 years. If we go to diplomacy, his opinion went from 4 to 24. And my opinion of him, 29. So we like each other. So can you please make me your steward now? His steward has probably a much higher stewardship than I have. Duke Thibault of Champagne has left the elective succession faction. Oh. And Baudouin of Flanders has become the new leader. Why not? Where's... What about... What about William the Bastard? Wasn't he the leader? Thought William the Bastard was the leader, but okay. So now we just have Baudouin of Flanders, yeah, with 78%, and Duke Robert with 45%. So now the king suddenly in a stronger position. Yep. Guillaume Chabin has been imprisoned by King Philip of France. Not sure who this guy is. Well, he's someone in the court of the emir, but doesn't look to be someone important. Apparently not. La la la. Not much going on here at the moment. Since we're a count, we can't actually do technology. When you are a king, for instance, then you can assign technology points to choose advancements. And we're almost one more year later, in 1068, 2 more months to go. We forgot. I forgot my court chaplain. Improve religious relations with the Pope. Because the Pope didn't like me. What was my... Oh yeah, see? So in the beginning the thing hadn't refreshed yet. So since Bishop Jacques likes me more than he likes the Pope, 29 and 37, he's paying taxes to me and not to the Pope. So he's paying me 5.9 gold and Hildebert is paying me 7.1. This is on a yearly basis. There's 25% of 28 and 35% of 16.8. So bishops pay more taxes, 35%. So yeah, that's about 13 income from my vassals every year. And I have a monthly income of 2.45. This includes, of course, the income from my own castle, plus the taxes these two vassals are paying to me, minus, here we have County of Vermandois. So we have 16.37 yearly income from our own castle, 7.13 from the mayor, 5.9 from the bishop, and we pay 1 gold every year to the king, giving us 28 gold every year. This is our current income. Also interesting to know, in the game we have the concept of the de facto, I believe it is called, and the de jure. De jure means that if you look at the Duchy of Valois, for instance, this is the Duchy of Valois de jure. This means by tradition, by law. The Duchy of Valois consists normally of these 3 counties, Paris, Amiens and Vermandois. But de facto, the duchy doesn't exist. There is no Duke of Valois. I'm not sure if we have a better example here. Let's just check. County of Rouen, the Duchy of Normandy. So this is the de facto Duchy of Normandy, controlled by William the Conqueror. De jure, this is the actual duchy of Normandy. So normally this county here, Vexin, is part of Normandy, but it is currently under control of Count Raoul of Amiens, this neighboring county. So we have here a situation where the actual holder of the title, the county of Vexin, is not the person who by tradition and laws and history should be the holder of the title. So this gives the duke a reason to go to war against the count and say, hey guy, this county by tradition is part of my duchy. I'm the Duke of Amiens. No, I'm the Duke of Normandy. And your county here, Vexin, is de jure part of Normandy, so I go to war, you give it back to me. But at the same time, it works in both ways. If we look at de jure and de facto, he also controls Maine. Count of Maine is actually a vassal of Duke William. Whereas Maine, if we look at the county of Maine, de jure is actually part of the duchy of Anjou. It's another duchy. So, through inheritance and history, there may be lots of discrepancies between who is the rightful ruler and who is the actual ruler, and this is often a reason to go to war. Even at a higher level, for instance, between France and the Holy Roman Empire, we can look at de jure duchies. These are the de jure duchies. De jure kingdoms. So as you can see here, the Kingdom of France de jure is only this area, and this is the de jure Kingdom of Aquitaine. But if we look at the actual realms, then we see that Aquitaine is currently part of the Kingdom of France. And we can go on to the de jure empires. Francia, the Holy Roman Empire. Here we have Britannia, which engulfs England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland. We also have Hispania over here, Italia, the Byzantine Empire, of course. Scandinavia is considered one empire. Of course, these are the de jure empires. In reality, there aren't many empires in the game. We only have two, I believe, here or at least in our neighborhood, the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire. All the other nations here are kingdoms or duchies or even counties. So yeah, interesting fact. Let's just cycle through the different opinions. This is what people think of us, so mostly neutral. Here the king is positive about us. Of course, in our own county, people like us. Vassals, trade zones, quite a lot of views. Governments, feudal, tribal, and Icta. I'm not very familiar with all the tribal stuff. Here we have more others. This is a theocracy, of course, the papacy. And here we have some trade republics with Venice and Genoa, and I've actually played as one of these. This is one of the DLCs. And this has a completely different way of working than the feudal system. These guys are focusing around trade, making high profits, and actually going in the lands of other nations where they can create ports and things like that, and even have trade wars. It's a bit of a different play style. Yeah, so those are government types. Defensive pacts is new. I have never used that before. I have no idea how it works. Epidemics, very important in the Middle Ages, of course. Epidemics can drastically change how things go in the game. Right, let's unpause again. We haven't made much progress yet. And I'm not gonna read every change. My liege, my mission to Paris has so far been a success again. During my visit to the court of King Philip, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are. Plus 20 again. The king's gonna like us now. Yep, plus 44. The king likes us. The king loves us. But so far this hasn't benefited us in any way. He could at least give us some title, you know. Come on, king, make us steward. Oh. One children lacks a guardian. Okay, Adele has reached the age of 6, and at the age of 6 you can assign a guardian who will look over the education of the child, and some of the traits of a character, such as strong, are mostly determined by their genes, but whether they become temperate or greedy or proud is more a matter of education. So the choice of a good, guardian is a very important one. On the other hand, guardians, you have to be careful because guardians tend to pass on their religion and culture to the child. So if you pick a guardian from a different culture, then your kids may have a different culture than your own. For instance, she's French. If I look at myself, I'm French. My wife is French. Okay, that seems pretty safe. Who can I choose? Educate child. I could choose Richard, the steward. What is his... Where can I see his culture? Wasn't working very well. Richard. Yeah, he's French. Lowborn. A lowborn character. But I can also choose to educate her myself. And I think I will. Oh, look at this. Adelaide Carling, my lover, is pregnant. Oh my god. I made a bastard child. This gotta be my doing when I gave her a good tumble. She's pregnant. Okay, this good for the story. I'm gonna educate, I'm gonna be guardian myself. There you go. Who's actually the guardian of my son? Pierre Carling, my brother, the court chaplain. Okay. He's chaste, proud, zealous, and slothful? What? Why does my son have a slothful guardian? Oh my god. The thing is, if I change this, he will be very displeased, and he is already not that liking me all that much. Yeah, that could be trouble Maisie indeed. The thing is, I don't really like my wife all that much, but let her be the guardian. You mean of the child that's going to be born, or of my current son or daughter? Look, I don't want this slothful guy to be the guardian of my son. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pick a different guardian. And he proposes my lover. Look at this. Maisie. The game proposes the same thing you proposed, to let Adelaide be the guardian. Adelaide's opinion of me will change by 10, but my brother Pierre's opinion will be decreased by -10. The hell with my brother. I want Adelaide to be the guardian of my son. My lover. Oh, I love the intrigue. What if my wife finds out? Does she know? Mention it? Opinion of me, 23. I don't think she knows. But she loves me as well. 15. What about Adelaide? See, this girl, her sister has the same name. That's why I mixed them up at the time. And she also has a high diplomacy. But this is not the Adelaide that I was looking at first. Here we have Adelaide Carling. She's of my dynasty and she also has a high diplomacy. This is the girl I'm looking at. Patient, charitable, diligent. She is arbitrary though. That's less good. That's not such a good character trait, but diligent is awesome. Charitable, well, that's kind of, greedy and charitable can both have positive effects. Patient is definitely a good character trait. This is less, and these have different variations. Charismatic negotiator is a diplomatic one, but a very low one. The same as what I have here with dutiful cleric. This is the learning trait. I'm not sure how this is called exactly, the first one. Everyone gets one of these when they reach adulthood. And there are different gradations in there. I'm not sure my wife. Yeah, she's amateurish plotter. This is also a low level. For instance, here you can see the martial one. Skilled tactician. This is a very good one. Dutiful cleric. That's not a good one. Detached priest. Yeah, so dutiful cleric is better than detached priest. This is better. Scholarly theologian. That's an even better one. So there are different gradations in there. I hope that's a valid word. So my wealth is going up. My prestige is going up. My piety is very slowly going up. Very, very slowly. And this is the Holy War here. French Holy War for Mallorca. The current war score is 65%. Because battles 22%, occupation 43%. So as you can see, the King of France is actually occupying 3 different holdings in Mallorca. And he also won a few battles already. Or one battle, the Battle of Madinat Mallorca, which gives him a war score of 65%. When this reaches a high enough percent, the Emir might be tempted to just accept defeat. If it reaches 100%, he can only accept defeat. They can also go for white peace, and each of those choices has a different impact. The battle here is still going, or is this a different one? Actually, William the Conqueror is gonna get beaten in this battle. Yep, Normandy got their ass kicked here. The largent army doesn't necessarily win. A son was born to Count Herbert of Vermandois and Adelaide Carling named Valoran. This battle here is the king against the King of England. The the battle here is the King of France versus the Moors. I think it's Moors, yeah. No, not France versus Spain. Spain doesn't exist at this point. You see, these are all, each color is a different independent nation or, yeah, entity at that time. So he's just against the Emir with the darkish green here. It's only a small Muslim guy who controls these islands and these two counties here. So he's no match for the King of France. So Valorant sounds okay. It seems my amorous adventures have resulted in a child. Little Valoran is my spitting image. And I can choose, legitimize him. He is declared a legitimate son with full inheritance rights. Lady Adelaide, the mother, is most pleased. However, my son, Eudes Carling, his opinion of me will change by -40. -40 because I legitimized a bastard and he is the only rightful ruler. And of course my wife, Adele, my daughter, Adele, her opinion also changes by -40. So my real, my dynastic children, Eudes and Adele, they will hate it if I legitimize a bastard son. But of course the mother of the son will like it. But it doesn't say anything about my wife. Funny enough. I could acknowledge him as mine. So in this case, he will not be my new dynasty. He will have a new dynasty. But he remains illegitimate. So he can be married off for an alliance. And if he has any children of his own, then that will spin off a new dynasty. So that will still please the mother without causing issues with my own children. Or I can just denounce the child, in which case the mother is humiliated. I do have a small dynasty, so I could go for legitimizing. Can I already see the stats? Yeah, not yet. Doesn't have any particular... He's not strong or genius or anything like that. I already know that. Legitimize or acknowledge him. I am proud, so this is my son. I will legitimize him. And now my own son, Eudes Carling. Oh, still positive. Yeah, it's more towards neutral now. But he's content. So he is satisfied with his lot in life, which is not good. This is the opposite of ambitious. So he's very loyal. He just likes his liege no matter what. And I'm his liege, of course. So this seriously offsets the negative opinion for legitimizing a bastard. And my daughter, she doesn't like it all that much. So she now has a negative opinion of me. But she's only a girl, so I don't care. And then we have Valoran, who is very glad. And who has my dynasty. He is a Carling. and he is a potential heir. This may turn out good if my son would die for some reason, then the second son, Valoran, would inherit the county. If we go to the succession now... Wait, why is he not on the list? I think this still needs to refresh. Because he should be second in line now after Judas. I think it will refresh in a moment. Could be brother versus brother foods later, Maisie, absolutely. The thing is, at the moment I only have one title. So if I die, the oldest son would still get my county. Thing is, as soon as I would get a second county, because we are under Gavelkind succession, it would mean that each of them would gain one county, and that's something they would not like as much, so they might start a succession war. I have noticed that Judas and Pierre are not on the best of terms, a situation I hope to remedy. I've invited them both for some quality family time in Rethel. This is my court chaplain, the guy that I removed as a guardian, my brother, and Pierre, Judas and Pierre. So Judas is my other brother, this one. And he's he's my chancellor. He's the guy who convinced the king 2 times already that I'm really a very good person. Judas and Pierre. Of course, there is also my son Judas. We'll see. Family first. Pierre, Judas and I had the greatest time together. I'm sure they like each other better now. Family first. That's good. Improved relations. And this is all because I have taken the family focus. The war's almost over. 95%. Oh, the King of France actually lost a battle on as well. That's surprising. Yep, he lost a battle. Oh, but here you see this, the Emir has gotten an ally. So this other Emir here of the Taribit Emirate, yeah, he jumped in. So he's helping his friend, the nearby, or his religious friend. But meanwhile here there's another battle going on, and you can see that the King of France is actually winning this one. Although this is in hills, so the defenders get a bonus. And the French army has gotten a serious penalty because they're attacking over a strait. And this is of course the issue with islands. It makes it harder to conquer them. Oh, what's this? The battle here is over, so you can see now this is part of France. But the French Holy War for Majorca has ended. King Philip of France has won. But why is there another war here? King Heinrich, de jure war over Zeeland. Okay, so the Holy Roman Empire, King Heinrich, has declared war to the King of France for this county here, Zeeland, which is de jure a part of the... It's currently part of France, but de jure is a part of... Yeah, de jure is a part of the Duchy of Holland, which is part of the Kingdom of Frisia, and that's part of the Holy Roman Empire. So by laws and traditions, this county is actually part of the Holy Roman Empire, but it's currently held by the King of France, and so Kaiser Heinrich said, "Give me back my county there." And he declared war. So this is another interesting battle, King Heinrich of the Holy Roman Empire versus King Philip of France. Now let's have a look at King Heinrich. He has an total army of 19,000 troops, whereas King Philip $8,000, and the current levy is 6,000 because he's been to war against the Muslims. So yeah, Kaiser Heinrich is definitely the stronger party here. But it's only one county, so if the King of France loses, he will only lose this one county. Peasant revolt for Dax. The peasants are revolting in one of the counties. Here, yeah. Here is a peasant revolt. These are like Basque, they are not French. Not sure if that's the main reason. Different culture group, yeah. So there was a revolt risk of 2% because this is a different culture group. So there's a French ruler, but the people in the county are not French, they are Basque. And that gives it a certain risk of revolt. So the King of France has a revolt here and he's got Kaiser Heinrich attacking. But yeah, he might lose both battles, but although the peasant revolt shouldn't be much of an issue. The timing is just bad because war score. King Philip of France, yeah, he's going to just win this. So the peasant revolt's not really, yeah, is already gone. But the battle against King Heinrich, he's probably going to lose, but it's only gonna cost him one county. King Philip of France has won. And the guy leading the revolt has been imprisoned. My daughter Adele. Yeah, that's because I'm the guardian of Adele. My daughter Adele makes sure everyone gets exactly the same amount of whatever sweets the cook gives the children. I am proud of her. She will gain the trait just, and her opinion of me changes by 5 for 2 years because she's happy with the upbringing. Or I could explain her how the world works and she would lose the just trait. So this is because I'm the guardian. If I'm not guardian, I wouldn't get to choose this. And whether or not she gets it will depend on the character of the guardian. But just is a good trait. Well-developed sense of justice, stewardship, learning, vassal opinion. The only negative one is when a character with the opposite trait, they will get a negative modifier. What was my own? I'm not just, but I'm not the opposite either, so cynical. Yeah, why wouldn't I want her to be just? Of course I want her to be just. I am proud of her. I'm also proud, so I'm a proud character. Makes sense. I'm proud of her. And so she is just. Giving her 2 stewardship and 1 learning. So she must have gotten 1 learning by herself. Let's just take a look at my son here. Gregarious and content. Content's not so good. Gregarious is a good one. Socially competent. And then of course my legitimized bastard, he's just, yeah, he's 0 years old. He hasn't got any traits yet. Right. I'm gonna take a short break and I'll continue for a bit more in about 10 minutes, but it won't be that much longer because it is getting late, of course. Um, let's just pause the game. Elective Succession faction has been disbanded, and the Duke Robert for France faction has also been disbanded. So there's no factions left. The king is starting to get control. Oh, he's gone adult as well. Yeah, I think the adulthood comes at the age of 16 in the game. So he's now 17 years old. He also crushed a revolt, which has decreased the national revolt risk. So yeah, he's charitable, he's kind, he's erudite, he's proud. So vassal lords will like him. He will be relatively popular, especially when he becomes older. Carousing focus. He's hosting wild parties. And he wants to become exalted among men. Yeah, as a king, that's a good ambition. Right. See you in a few moments. Right, I'm back. And I also have something else that I kind of noticed in the background, but I didn't mention it. And that's the fact that it's snowing in Belgium. For first time, 2017 has just begun. And if you look at, let's see, no. If you look at my window, you can see the snow lying on my window. First snow of 2017. Yeah, it's a good game, Maisie. I'm not sure about your specs if you can run it. One other thing I have noticed, and I'm gonna check this, is that I don't hear any music. The music volume's down. Such a shame, because this game has great music. There we go. Right. I'm playing borderless, and when I go to my other monitor, the map just scrolls to the left. So that's a bit of a side effect there. So yeah, first snowy in Belgium. We got our music back. Very good music. Love it. There are different music packs that you can actually buy as well as add-ons. I believe this is the base music. Some of the music is specific for certain regions, and you only get those music if you play ruler in that region. Such as songs from Britannia, I believe. There is one of the music packs. Alright. Yep, snow. I wasn't aware they announced any snow here. Maybe the music's a bit too loud. I can hardly hear my own voice. Turn it down just a little. Yeah, that sounds better. Snow. Here's a big battle. 18,000 versus 10,000. But King of France is defending, got a bonus because he's defending from hills, and the Holy Roman Empire gets a negative bonus modifier because they are attacking over a river. So that gives a negative bonus. You can also see terrain view. This is the terrain view. Oh, this is funny. It's currently winter. So there's like snow in the game as well. Funny. And what you can see as well is, for instance here, if there are these stripes, that means that the county is currently occupied by another ruler. So there's apparently a war here. Yeah, a Croatian revolt. So there's a civil war going on in Croatia. And the rebels, or whatever you like them, the revolters are actually occupying some of the counties. So the king of Croatia has some trouble there with a revolt. And here we have, the emir. So one of the Spanish kings, the king of Castile, is at war with it's the other way around. So this is a Muslim country, the emir of the Hooded Emirate, and he's being invaded by the king of Castile. I believe historically these were three brothers. Yeah. So King Garcia of Galicia, King Sancho of Castile, and King Alfonso of Leon. Those are three brothers. And this is probably due to Gavelkind succession again, that the kingdom over here was split in three because their father died, King Fernando the Great. He was probably king of this entire region, but due to Gavelkind succession, it totally split up. There's some wars going on around here. You see, Leon is actually occupying Galicia, so they are at war, these brothers. Yep, King Alfonso of Leon is attacking his brother for a Leonese claim on Galicia. So he says, right, I am actually the true ruler of Galicia, and he is attacking his own brother here. And he's also defending against the Sheikh of Murtola in the Murtolan Holy War for Leon. And their other brother in Castile is attacking the Holy War for Aragon. Hi Pancake! Welcome to the stream. And he's defending against another emirate. Wow, lots of wars going on here in Spain, between the Christians and the Muslims, but also between the two brothers here in Galicia and Leon. Right, but for us more important here is of course the war against between the Holy Roman Empire and France. And let's see how this battle moves on. Ouch, the King of France is getting hammered here, despite the defensive bonus. Although the Holy Roman Empire is also taking quite significant losses. And that's one of the critiques sometimes about the game, is that often wars evolve into creating the biggest stack and then attacking the biggest stack of the opponent, making sure your stack is bigger than the enemy. But that's not entirely true. There's terrain bonuses, there's the bonuses for generals having certain modifiers to their army. There are even different strategies when in battle, different formations. So it's a bit more complex, but if you have an army of 15 versus an army of 10, then the 15,000 army will probably win most of the time. Let's check something else, not military, intrigue, because we can sometimes do some special actions here depending on the period of the year. Holding a feast has to be November, summer fair has to be May. We're in April, so let's just move forward a bit. And we'll hold a summer fair. It costs me 25 gold and gives me 0.05 extra prestige every month. I have given the order that a summer fair should be held in Vermandois this summer. This should make the peasants happy. Right, so King of France is definitely losing this war here against the Holy Roman Empire, which is not much of a surprise, because the Holy Roman Empire has much larger army and they're only fighting one war. I've invited a monkey trainer to the summer fair and the performance went well until one of the monkeys refused to ride on top of a pig. The trainer beat the monkey with a stick, which led the other monkeys to attack the trainer, biting him and hitting him with his own stick. Shouldn't someone do something? gives me 10% chance of gaining this trait, stressed. Or here's your money, I don't ever want to see you here again. I don't want the stress trait, but also yeah, I'm not concerned about this monkey trainer, so let's just give him his money and get the hell out of here. We do gain some prestige from that. So yeah, part of this is random. The outcome of certain events, which events you get. There are a few interesting event chains and special historic characters showing up, such as Joan of Arc. I've noticed that Judas and Pierre are not on the best of terms. Again? A situation I hope to remedy. I've invited them both for some quality time. Family first. Peddlers are loading their wares and the merchants are taking down their stalls. The jugglers, strolling players and the other entertainers are preparing to leave. Summer fair's over for this year. It was great fun while it lasted. Gain 10 prestige. We had the greatest time together. I'm sure they like each other better now. Yeah, that's what you said last time. So yeah, what you may have missed is that I have a son and daughter with my wife, Countess Alix Adele, but I've also went to the room of my lover. We have the same great-grandfather. Our grandfathers were actually brothers. Adelaide Carling, my lover. So I gave her a good tumble and this resulted in a son. A son, Valorant Carling, which I legitimized. So I have now 2 sons and 1 daughter, all legitimate Carling heirs. But I only have 1 county, so my oldest son is still the heir for the county of Vermandois. I like the king likes me, all going well. Let's maybe check up on how William the Conqueror is doing. There we are. Attacking King Harold of England, the war score is 15% in favor of King Harold. So it looks like William the Bastard is not going to win the war for England. Yeah, and then we have the Holy Roman Emperor at 36% in favor of the Holy Roman Empire. How is the Norwegian conquest of England doing? Oh, he's winning! 11% in favor of King Harold. So still a low war score on both sides, so this war will still go on for quite some time most likely. But King Harold is slightly winning, whereas Duke William the Bastard is actually losing the war against England. Right, but it can still go either way. War scores are still very low. How old are we now? 37. My son? 9. Still 7 years before he reaches adulthood, so let's hope I don't die at this point. Family man, yeah. Come on. My wife's not really helping me get kids here. I'm very fertile, I'm lustful, I'm a family man. Why isn't she getting pregnant? 29? She's still at childbearing age. Maybe because she's just too lazy to make kids? That could be it. let's speed up time a bit more. So yeah, the Holy Roman Empire is actually now attacking the county that they are claiming, of course, because this gives the highest war score increase to control the county that you are disputing. It's not a big deal for the King of France to lose this one county. My mission to Paris has been a success again. Wow, my Chancellor is doing a good job. At least someone is. During my visit to the court of the king, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are. Perfect. Right. Well, relations with the king are really good now, so I might just send my Chancellor to do something else now. I could make him fabricate a claim. The thing is, what can I do with it? I'm not very powerful to go to war against anyone. And fabricating a claim will cost me money. Sowing dissent, don't see much use of that at this point in time. Any alternatives? No. Should I fabricate a claim somewhere? I might be able to use intrigue. Who is this guy? Count Raoul of Amiens. He's got 2 counties, so he's definitely stronger than me. He's my father-in-law. Oh, you're the father of these 2 women. Yeah, I have to be careful here because the Duke of Champagne was a very strong duke. So he's also his father-in-law. So let's just not get into trouble with Count Raoul here. What else do we have? Reims. It's part of Champagne, so we don't have much we can grab here. I'm not gonna go and create claims, so let's just continue improving relationships with our liege. Oh, my wife does hate me. The pop-up didn't say so, but she did hate me because I legitimized the bastard. So maybe I should appoint the bishop as my spy master now, because she has better skill at intrigue, but she hates me. Having a spy master who hates you is not a good idea. And well, he's one of my vassals, so if let's just take a look here. Yep, and he likes the Pope more, so he's no longer paying us taxes. Yep, he's paying taxes to the Pope. But if I appoint him as my spy master, he will be pleased, and that will give him a positive opinion modifier, and he will start paying us taxes again. So double reason why we could change our spy master. Let's do it. And yeah, continue to scheme in Vermandois. My wife's gonna hate me even more now, because I removed her from the council. Yeah, opinion minus 47. She really starts to hate me now. And the love one, the plus 15, is going to expire. Oh, that's still almost 20 years, so that's no big deal. Alright, speed up time again. We've only gone 3 years thus far. King Philip of France is claiming to know that I'm promoting heresy. What? I'm not promoting heresy. But promises to keep this to himself if I promise to stay out of all factions. I have no choice but to agree, which will change my opinion of King Philip by -5. Never will change opinion by -50, but also his opinion, and he will charge me of being a heresiarch. I have no intention to join a faction at the moment, so I have no choice but to agree. What's the worst that could happen? She could try to assassinate me. Well, the worst that could happen is that she manages to assassinate me, of course. Or she could try to assassinate the bastard child that I legitimized. King Philip of France has created the Duchy of Orleans. Okay, Duchy of Orleans. This is de jure. It's currently only the county. Right. Doesn't involve us, so let's move on. $1,500 hours, cool. Yeah, that's totally true. The game has quite a big scope. I'm not at 1,500 hours yet. I think I'm around 700 hours in total. Although I have played less in the last few years. I played most before all the DLCs came out, or when the first DLCs came out. A most impressive woman has recently arrived at your court. Apparently the reason for her visit has been to arrange a trade agreement with the local merchant. While people didn't think much of her at first, now you have heard many courtiers praising her savvy business sense. Perhaps you should make her an offer. Lady Isabeau, you should work for me. Right. This result in my chancellor? No, my steward. So I can fire my steward and hire this Lady Isabeau. She's got 21 stewardship. Wow. Administrator, fortune builder. Ambitious. De Laon. Yeah, she's just a courtier in my court. And Richard only has 11 stewardship and he's a lowborn. So I've got no reason to keep this guy a steward. He's just a lowborn in my court. He is quick, but he's not even married. He has no family. Lady Isabeau, you should work for me. Vassal opinion -20. Why would all my vassals hate me? Because she's a woman? Oh, here. Count Herbert of Vermandois gets scandalous counselor until 1075, giving following effects. Vassal opinion -20. That's all my vassals. She is a great steward, though. Thing is, what do I have with a great steward? Marry her, yeah. Murder my wife and marry her. Well, besides stewardship, her stats aren't that great. She's just a mediocre character if it weren't for her stewardship. Of course, Fortune Builder also gives +10 fertility. Shy, kind, paranoid. Yeah, it's just not that great, but our stewardship is amazing. What were my stats? Lustful? Can I, instead of making her my steward, can I just give her a good tumble? I'm proud. Temperate. Cynical. Yeah, nothing really going before or against it. Oh, vicious rumors. Someone is spreading foul rumors about me. We don't know who, but someone's been scheming against us for sure. A rival or enemy. Yeah, but who? I'm still gonna give her the position because my own steward is nothing special and he's just a lowborn. And I'm gonna take the 5-year hit to the opinion of all my vassals. I don't care, I'm the ruler here. You should work for me, Lady Isabeau. And now we have Lady Isabeau. I'm gonna let her collect taxes. Because local tax modifier plus 52%, that's huge. Although of course my vassals, at least the bishop will stop paying taxes. Yep. The bishop will no longer pay taxes, so it's a win-loss situation. Who's spreading the rumors? Yeah, I thought my wife, but she also had this modifier. Oh, she doesn't. I was sure she had the modifier before. Oh, another one. Oh yeah, this is the scandalous counselor that I just got. Vicious rumors, also decreasing opinion of me. Yeah, it might be my wife. And this spy master, he's gonna have a very low chance of plot discovery chance 8%. That's really nothing, eh? Plot uncovered 10% yearly. So yeah. If she's plotting against me, the chance that my spy master is going to discover that is very small. King France trying to win the battle here, but yeah, this is never gonna work. Disease. Yeah, you see these black spots, Maisie? These clouds here, this is disease. Let's take a look at the epidemics. Oh, this is close. This is very close. Currently suffering an epidemic of smallpox. Yeah. So there's smallpox spreading around here. And since we are here in Vermontois, we may expect the smallpox coming over there pretty quickly. Just gonna keep this view for a moment to see how fast it spreads. Oh, over here. My beloved brother Judas is concerned that he's still not married. I will find him someone nice. Right, let's go ahead and before we forget, he's my chancellor, he's the man who improved relations with the king. He will gain more piety because he was promised a marriage. So these are some potential candidates. He's 37 years old. So I'm not gonna pick a girl who is only 7 years old. I need an adult woman, so let's maybe sort them by age. Menzia Gardzez. She's a bastard. Non-aggression pact with the Prince of Navarra. Pretty bad stats as well. She's a Lombard courtier. Hawiz, the spy master of Naonet. Breton. 37. He's gonna want someone a bit younger. 18, that's ideal, of course. Portuguese, courtier. They're all courtiers, so he's gonna take a prestige hit, I guess, because they don't have a title. They do have claims. Castelo Branco. Lots of Portuguese here. Also Portuguese, Norman. I'm looking at this woman mostly because she's 18. The others are either younger or too old. 28 still childbearing age. Patient, content, chaste. Yeah. This woman's not very fertile. Let's not forget I have a small dynasty, so it would be good if my brothers would also get some kids. We shouldn't expect much from our court chaplain here, I guess. So yeah, Judas, I'm counting on you. Jealous, charitable. I think one of these two, one of the two Portuguese. These sisters. They're from the same dynasty at least. She has the ambition to get married. She does have some better stats, but that's because she's ambitious. Humble, trusting, charitable, brave, temperate. I do like this woman's character traits, but she's got better stats thanks to the ambitious. Ambitious, patient, that's not bad. You got a bit lower fertility. She's got higher fertility. Okay, let's take Ozenda then. Right click. No. What did I do? Wrong button? Judas it was. Ozenda. Okay. Propose that Judas and Ozenda get married. As a relative of a count, Judas would gain 0 prestige from marrying into the house de Ribaduro and minus 100 prestige from marrying a courtier. Yeah, because he's a relative of a count, so marrying a courtier would be bad for his prestige. No, normally women can be your spy master. The only exception are for the council positions. Women are normally no candidates. The only exception is spy master, where your wife and your mother can be spy master. But those are the only women who can be spy master. So the wife of my brother would not make her a suitable candidate. So I'm proposing to Count Egas of Castelo Branco, which is somewhere here in Portugal. And his opinion of me is positive. Or her opinion? No. Should be his opinion, I guess. Well, it's gonna cost him prestige, and he doesn't have it any. Or no, he does have 59, so that would bring him back to minus 41. He'll get over that. Send. To the most excellent Count Herbert, peace be with you, I accept your suggestion that Judas and Ozenda get married. Ozenda has arrived at your court. Okay, she doesn't like me. Yeah, nobody likes me. And he's gonna be happy. Promised him marriage, yeah. Long reign plus 17, that makes up for a bit. Let's look at our vassals. well, the bishop's no longer gonna pay taxes, of course. Although on the other hand, the mayor still does. He's still got a positive opinion, so that's good. Our court chaplain's also not liking us much. We have an alternative there. Richard. Is this the previous? Yeah, this was my this was my steward. He has higher learning than my current court chaplain. On the other hand, this is my brother. Well, this is just a lowborn. Let's just keep my brother in position. I don't want to have more trouble in my family, especially my focus is on family at the moment. So it would be rather contradicting to remove my brother from the council. Oh, it's been moving around, smallpox. It's coming very close here. And King of France has created another duchy, the Duchy of Valois. Is that not where we are? Valois? Yep. So de jure, we are part of this duchy, but in reality, oh, we also are, yeah. Okay. Doesn't impact us much, although I would like the title, of course. So probably the opinion's gonna change now. Nope. Okay, I was expecting a negative opinion because I wanted the duchy title, but apparently not. Oh, smallpox has spread over here now. We're still outside of the area. I'm not sure what this means. I think it means it can spread over the water, because there's a coastal province here with smallpox. Oh, Vermandois. Yep, we've got smallpox, killing almost half of those infected. Let's just hope we don't get smallpox. I wouldn't care if my wife gets smallpox. My son, certainly not. Daughter. Okay, so far we're still safe. I think we do get a pop-up if one of our family would get the disease. And I'm not concerned if one of my courtiers gets it. Maybe I should send my brother. The Pope doesn't like me. Maybe I should send my court chaplain to improve the religious relations with our bishop. The bishop over here. Because he's my spy master. And if I increase the... if I could improve relations, he might start paying taxes to me again. So double reason why I would want to improve relations. As for the Pope, he probably doesn't care for such a lowish count like me. Right. I was shamefully caught in action with a beautiful servant today by court chaplain Pierre Carling, my brother, yep. He scolded me and lectured me in the virtues of chastity. I wish I could ignore him, lose 15 piety, and he gains 15 prestige. Okay. I've been spending more time with my wife Alex Adele lately, and though of course we didn't marry for love, I can tell it is growing between us. Really? Plus 15. Even though I have a bastard son. Oh, the disease already gone? Only one county left here? Okay. I know they changed a lot with, I think it's with the Reaper's Due, the DLC that I don't have, but the update probably changed the mechanics of it. So yeah, the smallpox in the region is gone. That's good news. How's the war going? Yep, King definitely losing, although... Alright. There are some battles in both directions here and... Wait. Count Herbert? Adelaide? Who's Adelaide? My lover? Why wasn't I aware that she was pregnant? I don't think I saw a pop-up somewhere about her being pregnant. Pierre Carling. This is good. I made a second bastard son with my lover here. I need a bigger family, so yep, we're going to legitimize him. Pierre sounds okay. Pretty Frenchish name. Little Pierre is my spitting image. Oh, my wife's gonna hate me. She just loved me a bit more, and then I make another bastard son. Legitimize him. Now my main son, yep. He hates me now. Because this is the second bastard that I legitimized. I'm also a scandalous counselor and there are vicious rumors about me. So my son hates me. Even if he's content and he's my son, he still hates me now. My daughter even worse. Even Valorant, the legitimized bastard. He's a legitimized bastard himself. What? I think this makes less sense, but okay. Okay, and this one, of course, he likes me because I legitimized him, so he has no reason to hate me. The mother, well, she adores me now. Yeah, she's my lover, I legitimized her child, I also entrusted her a ward. So she loves me. And my wife? Minus 90. This woman hates me. Love plus 30. She loves me, but she hates me. Love-hate relationship. Let's look here. And now we can see indeed that Valorant Carling is second in line to inherit my title. And the new son will appear here soon as a third in line. So thanks to these legitimized bastards, Adele here has moved from second in line to fourth in line. Alex Adele seeks to see Count Herbert of Vermandois dead. Aha! Now we've got something. So I just discovered, thanks to my spy master, that my wife, Countess Alex Adele, wants me dead. She's plotting to get me killed. Count Herbert, that's me. And this gives me the option. I can now go into hiding. I can go into hiding in order to greatly improve my personal security against murder plots. My prestige and diplomatic ability are likely to suffer, however, and who knows how a life in hiding may affect my personality. Can't I just imprison her? Oh yeah, here, righteous imprisonment. Try to imprison Countess Alix Adele of Vermandois. We have a 40% chance of success based on our relative state intrigue. That's not much. If we fail, she might declare war on us or flee to another court. Since we have evidence that she's the leader of a plot, no one will object. See, this is the problem now. The chance to imprison her depends on our state intrigue. Our state intrigue is our own intrigue, plus half the intrigue of our wife, and the intrigue of our counselor, but our spy master. But our spy master has only 8 intrigue. We have a very bad spy master. So we only have 40% chance of success here. But if I don't imprison her, she might get me killed. So it makes sense to imprison her, of course. My opinion of her is plus 29. I still love this woman. She hates the guts out of me, but I still love her. I have to try and imprison her. If she flees, then yeah, that's too bad. She might declare war. Well, she can't declare war because she has no title of her own. Okay, try to imprison her. We succeeded. She's now safely locked away in my dungeon, awaiting her fate. Excellent. So if we go to intrigue now, we have here a prisoner. Her opinion has now gone down to minus 100 because she's imprisoned. She hates me even more. Release her. No. Execute her. So what are the possibilities? Release her. Which we really have no reason to do. Execute. Using this option is viewed as tyrannical and will lower all your vassals' opinion by minus 10, and it will cost me 20 piety. I only have 3 piety. Could plot to kill her, which may work, because since she's in jail it would be easier to get her killed, I guess. Throw her in the oubliettes. Life expectancy will not be high down there. She will get minus 20 diplomacy and minus 2 health, so she might die a lot faster. And her diplomacy drops to 0 basically. Put in house arrests. So we will leave her from prison but put her in a guarded room. Higher chance of escape, of course. And she can still live for much longer. I really want to get rid of her because she hates the guts out of me. Just do it, throw her in the oubliette. I'm not gonna execute her because my vassals already have that many negative opinion modifiers from my recent actions. Monks from the nearby monastery have been stopping by to trade for supplies quite often lately. They usually linger to talk and exchange knowledge. I should seek their company more often. How tedious these men of God. yeah, I should seek their company more often. I'm a dutiful cleric. I am cynical though. I'm a cynical unbeliever, but I'm also a dutiful cleric. So roleplay wise. Of course, their knowledge is not necessarily religious. You know, the monks were the keepers of knowledge. I should seek their company more often. Gives me 20 piety, potentially 1 learning, I'm not sure, I don't think I got that one. Right, my daughter Adele was bitten by a snake this morning. The brave little fool keeps seeking out danger. That's my lass. She gains the trait brave. Her opinion changed by 5. Praise her bravery to everyone. Her Orgon, one of my courtiers' opinion will change by -5. He's envious, okay? And she gains 5 prestige. Or caution must temper courage. Then she gets a chance, 50% chance to gain the trait Craven. Why would I want her to be Craven? Praise her bravery maybe makes sense because I am proud. I'm a proud character. And she would gain 5 prestige. That's my lass is also. That's my lass. She's brave and just. My oldest son is gregarious, content, and he's gained charitable as well. Pretty decent. Valerian, still nothing, and Pierre, nothing. My daughter Adele is modest and humble, never showing off or bragging. Quietly encourage Adele. She gains the trait humble but loses 5 prestige. I lose 5 prestige. She gains the trait humble and her opinion of me changes by +5. Happy with the upbringing. Well, that's the 2nd time already, so she should start to hate me less. Yeah. Still pretty negative though. Even though I'm her guardian. Just humble and brave. Very nice character traits. Actually, the army of France here is almost as big as the one of the Holy Roman Empire. Is he starting to regain control? In Foray. Where's Foray? Oh, here. Oh, the King of France actually controls one of the Holy Roman counties. Oh yeah, and part of the Holy Roman Empire is fighting to regain control of these holdings, while the other half is here attacking Bruges. Why Bruges? Because this is, let's look at the economy. So if you look at economy, this is quite a flourishing area economically, so that hurts the most, occupying holdings that create more taxes. And it's part of the same duchy, I believe, with Zealand. Or at least de jure, yeah, it's part of the duchy of Flanders at the moment, though de jure it's not part of it. Well, it's nearby and it's a good county in economic respect. So it makes sense. A new bird has arrived in the Muse, and a new book on the art of writing poetry is in the library. I should start reading the book, or I should take her out for a hunt. 50% chance of a book filled with bunkum, 50% chance of a book filled with inspiration. And if we choose this, 50% chance of a disastrous falconry, and 50% chance of a fortunate falconry. Falconry. Role-playing it again. I am a dutiful cleric. So probably the book makes more sense than the falcon. I should start reading the book. King Philip of France has formed an alliance with Duke Ramon Berenger the Old, the Duke of Barcelona. Does that mean Messi will come and join the French army? King Philip of France has an alliance. Well, last time I played there was no such thing as alliances, so I'm not entirely sure how this will work out, but I think it means they automatically defend each other. This book about poetry is really boring. It's filled with do's and do nots, and I just want to throw it out the window. This wasn't for me, and I gained the trait depressed. Oh no. I should take the bird out for some hunting instead. Well, let's just try the bird then. Diplomacy +1. Whoa, wow! Interesting. Kaiser Heinrich of the Holy Roman Empire set up Pope Hermanfried as an anti-pope named Pope Sergius V. Pope in Sitten. Over here. So we now have... Ooh, look at this. The moral authority of the Catholic faith has dropped suddenly to 55%. It went down from 85 to 55. And we have two popes. Pope Sergius in Sitten and Alexander II in Rome. Ouch. This is crazy stuff. It's all empty. Wow. Duke Ramon Berenger has accepted the King of France call to arms, so he's joined the war against the Holy Roman Empire. Yep. So this is also part of the game a bit, the diplomacy, getting allies. Even the marriage game is often used to get strong allies. Well, I am quite surprised by the anti-pope. I've had anti-popes before, but usually because I elected an anti-pope or set up an anti-pope, not the AI. What's with the College of Cardinals being half empty? Are there two colleges? Not really. Well, I'm not very sure what happened with the anti-pope. The new bird is almost too perfect. I enjoy every hunt with her, and the cook has trouble finding new recipes for rabbit. I'm a falconer. Falconer. Diplomacy +1 and same trade opinion +10. No more rabbit bite, please. Gain 15 prestige. No, I'm a falconer, I guess. What's the King of France doing here with his army? Why is he not attacking? Cardinal Bogomil. Yeah. Oh, the war, look at the war score. -25. Oh yeah, because King of France has recovered Zealand. So Foray is back into Holy Roman Empire hands, but Zealand's back in French hands, and this is of course the county that matters. This is the one they're claiming. On the other hand, of course, Kaiser Heinrich is still attacking this county, and not sure how far they've got to. Yeah, I don't think you can see it. How far they are to capture this. Where is he heading? Chalon. As a reigning count, I rarely have any spare time, but for my little daughter Adele, I would move heaven and earth. Family first. Her opinion of me changed by 15. Good. Now he's going to capture this one, Lyon. Why Lyon? Cardinal Manasseles of Limoges. Yeah, all these cardinals, I don't care. Yep, another one. We might just do something new here. Hold a feast. What was it? November. A few more days. Let's just hold a feast for a change. Because why not? Oh no, I need 100 prestige. I only have 90, so I can't. Let's just check. Maybe we can... Can we still murder our wife? The imprisoned wife? Seems we can't. Kill the Duke of Flanders. Let's just keep her in jail, shall we? She wasn't giving us any kids anyway. Our lover's not pregnant? No, she's not. Right, I'm almost going to wrap up this stream, guys. Because it's well, almost 4:30 AM over here. Got a long weekend, so I can afford to stay up a bit longer, but I'm not gonna exaggerate. I hope you're enjoying Crusader Kings 2. My daughter Adele has a tender and loving soul, trusting everyone in the castle. I fear she will get hurt someday. Those who love get love in return. She gains a trait kind. Tender soul, I'll give her a tender back, which gives us a 50% chance to gain envious. Those who love get love in return. Thank you, Pancake. Yeah, I'll certainly do more Crusader Kings in 2017, along with a few other games. Thanks, Maisie. I believe this is the first time you actually saw the game besides the demo. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back later with more Crusader Kings 2. Thank you for the follow. Have a good night, and I'm going to check out the snow before I get to sleep. Snow on the window. Not sure where you guys are at. Well, I do know Maisie, in the UK, there's no snow, I guess. Save and quit. So thanks for watching, have a good night, and a happy new year. Bye people.